What makes me a life coach? Well, I got a lot of certifications behind me. I'm not just a single guy. Plus, I've had 68 years on 12 and seen where I went wrong and seen where other companies and people in business go wrong. I've seen where people go wrong. So I kept on educating myself. I'm reading right now Napoleon Hill's Master. Uh, these are good books. You know, I get this all the time from young people. Oh, that's old school. Hey, that's when things were working right. And we put God back in the equation, you know. Instead, we got into all this ideology. Just a sec, I got to turn the air off. She's cold in here. That's a life coach. Now, I'm a Reiki master. I'm not just a Reiki master, I'm a grandmaster. And I do Krunaki, I do Kundalini. I don't believe in one school. I just think the problem with our whole system. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. Turn that darn air off. It gets so cold in here. Yeah. You can never set it right. The old fellow just knows that. I hate doing this between videos. Come on. There. Life coach. What is a life coach? Well, um, they are a psychologist. A good certified one internationally is a psychologist in a way. They've studied the theory of sociology. I've studied sociology, psychology to a certain degree. I'm not. I vary in my methods because everybody's different, you know. And I'm intuitive too, and that's a gift to be an intuitive life coach. And know when people are got problems and they wonder why you know that. I'm not judging people. I don't believe in judging people. I wouldn't want anybody to come and feel like they're ashamed of anything they've done. It's right now what you're going to do next. So I teach mindfulness. I think that's an important factor. Psychology of mindfulness, mindful moving ahead. If I read these books to you, and I give you a series of books, and I'm reading them, so I go by the points, but I want to teach them. Napoleon Hill, How to Make Money. Isn't that what you want? Isn't money making what you want? But here's the thing with our type of psychology now. Not our psychology, our mindset. Napoleon Hill's mindset. Go the extra mile. And rephrase things like psychology. Rephrase the way you think about things. Uh, like work. You have a bad meaning to it? Play. Call it anything if you don't like the word work. Just rephrase everything and enjoy the process. I've learned so much from sports figures, from artists, musicians, how the process works. And it's not much different. That's just a different business. But sports is some of the sports stories are really sink in with a lot of men because they're always sportsmen, you know. And I try to come to a point when I'm talking to men, they're going through a hard darn life. Like, let's face it, COVID's being out, all of a sudden you're on a new life path. You had your mind set that this was what you were doing. But it doesn't work that way, does it? And I study a lot and I listen to a lot of people. And if you read Napoleon Hill, it is never to know too much. It's every man, every woman, every child can teach you something. And that's the humility of being a businessman. And what makes good business and how you treat people and how you think about your work and the passion you put into it. That's how you influence people and you get ahead. Another thing is I'm big on minimalization of social media. I really think it's like, look at me. I'm picking up the phone. It's just got addicted to it. Have you ever been addicted? I was an alcoholic once. Yeah. I'm gonna not shoot down. I haven't done things wrong or I haven't had addictions. I've had. But the thing is, I've recovered. I think that makes me qualified. I've recovered from mental illness and depression, major depression. I woke up that self work and self care, and there's many forms of psychology that'll work. So I teach NLP, neuro linguistic therapy, cognitive therapy. I'm getting a little understanding of it now. I just use it like sauce, and I use art therapy, music. I'm a musician myself. And when you get into those states, and I understand the chakratic zones and meridian zones, like the freedom technique, the emotional freedom, that is a tool that you could use. I'm a man that would turn you over to a cannabis doctor if you had problems. I really think cannabis is the solution. You can try it. You know, just try things. If you're having major trauma or events in your life, I don't like a lot of these drugs. CBD seems to work quite well, and it's legal in Canada. I don't know how it'll work in the world. It probably will be legal all over. It was a milestone to come to cannabis with THC derivatives, and it's not heavy doses, and it's not recreational. It's just a little bottle you put under the tongue, and you go to sleep at night, and you're getting relief. That works. Another thing, I'm into essential oils, aromatherapy. I'm pretty well a diploma in it. Another thing, I build crystal elixirs. I do energy work. Kundalini, Reiki, Kundalini Reiki, Reiki, Grandmaster Reiki. These are all different systems, you sure. But I also mindfulness teach. If I can slow your mind down. I get a lot of people working. They're on their computers, and you know what it's like. You're always on your computer, you're doing a spreadsheet or something. So I go over to there's a labyrinth. They're great for walking. When you're walking, your mind is guiding your speed, right? And it's a mirror of your mind. And I saw she was on Excel or some damn thing, poor thing. you know what I mean? Working. And I said, "Look at the way you walk. What's wrong? You're walking like it's the Daytona 500." Mhm. And she's trying to get this head to slow down. We get on, we're in an office, and she's trying to calm down. Breathe. Your mind is mirroring your speed. She listened to me because she wanted help. I can only help those that want help. And she came up and said, I tried that and it worked, sir. It worked. Thank you. I had a young man and it wasn't a lot of words. I just hit the right thing for him. He was on antidepressants, very depressed, soul. He cared about other people, but he was, like Jorgen says, a sponge. What's the placebo? The ignore being compassionate? No, it's simple. Gratitude list. Writing a journal every day. And he wrote me back about 2 weeks later. He was off I didn't tell him to get off him. He didn't need him anymore. Because he started doing like Napoleon Hill. Focus on what's making you happy. And he started writing the gratitude journal. And he started focusing on being positive. Like we watch these darn computers, we watch screens and violence on TV. I got off it. So I don't think we're meant to watch what sells on the news. And that seems like the pain of the world. And that's the problem with society. It's just all this stuff. So who did I learn that off of? My buddy, he's got Down syndrome. He's always happy. He doesn't watch TV. He just is in the present moment and he's out there. I talk to other people. It's a rotten world, isn't it? Looks like a nice night tonight, isn't it? It's a rotten. It's not really. But that's the way we perceive everything. And it's hard to get you out of that head spot. Especially if you're looking on these things and scrolling through and seeing guns and armed robbery and all sorts of horrible things. And, you get out walking and you tell me it's a rotten world. Well, you got thrown out of the bar because you were going around this rotten world and you told me how to throw me out of the bar. Yeah, because you're unhappy and you're drinking a bit. But you say it's a rotten world. I used to say that. But just right now. So I was an alcoholic. I had to have a drink one night. You ever have that? You are a DTs. You got DTs. You gotta have a drink. Because that's all you know. You can't see beyond sobriety. So who did I get expert advice from? Another man that was an alcoholic. Well, Greg, just like now you're not going to have a drink. You have a cup of tea with me and we'll talk. And he says, just focus on right now. And that's the 12-step program. And I'm so surprised when I meet alcoholics in the park. They've never heard of the 12-step program, which is one of the standard things for all alcoholics and most drug addicts now, and most people with addictions. Fellowship and working together on overcoming addictions. I'm so surprised that they'd say your thing to get people that really want to get off alcohol or drugs. But what do I know about alcohol and addiction? Being an alcoholic, I know one thing. You can't imagine life without it. It's just become your life. It's like this phone. To get off these darn things, people can't get off them. Do you, and that's an addiction. Like I just look at me picking that up. Look at that. I haven't broke the hold of it yet. Something I got used to, in my hand. carrying it and walking with it, and it's like a attachment. I gotta get out of that. Maybe I'm not relaxed on the screen here. I think I am. Try not to touch it. Don't touch that phone. But that's the funny thing about addiction, isn't it? You just can't imagine changing. And the storyline and the way you see things, the NLP changes that. We wind it back like a tape and really look at what you're seeing. I'm not trying to rain on your parade because that's not my goal. My goal is what isn't working there is the problem with your life, the story. You know, we get told things, and it's not it's our fault. Our parents have come from a low income background. Our parents come off from different ideologies, different values. But I hope this gets to you because I think we all go through this. That doesn't serve you. That thinking, that model will not get you ahead. So that's the first story is the root of all evil is money. Well, I don't know if it's evil to eat and have money and food coming in and be able to be comfortable. I don't think that's evil. It's livelihood. It's how we do things. When we do an honest livelihood and we can feel good about it. You know, I've read Dr. Krista Kelly's book, Self-Compassion. I really believe we do not have self-compassion. The old model was self-esteem. And Dr. Krista Kelly says, no, it's about compassion. It is the best thing for us. Now, that's not the ego. Don't get that confused. Self-compassion is to love yourself. And then you can love others. But you got to get that spark going. You got to get that spark going that you love who you are. And you're kind to yourself. How many people have done things and live with the shame of it? But it's behind them. But they let that haunt them. It's a shame, you know. It's just that anchor back there stopping you from moving ahead. Stopping you from. And here's another thing I notice with young people when they come out. They're 19. She just got her age maturity to have a drink in the bar. But I'm always interested in people. I don't judge them. I just said, what is all these marks on your neck, these tattoos? My life map. Well, we got to learn something about my age. I've never found a linear life map. Because certain things happen. And it doesn't mean you're off track. The basic foundation of that goal is still there. Sometimes in your life is this double whammy. Think of that. All the people that have got ahead in life didn't know where that road was going, you know. They just followed it and just went on what Carl Jung talked about synchronous, and all of a sudden you got more than you imagined. Steve Jobs, when he went down in after Apple, and before he got into Apple Macintosh, he was learning what do you call it? Calligraphy. By hand. You don't know why you're doing things, but you're being your creativity's there. Something's picking up that you do that. So let's say you're picking up skills of the way. Put them together and see where that takes you. That skill took him to putting fonts on computers. So I don't think I'm wrong there. And I use energy work to cut a lot of molds and a lot of garbage. Now, somebody was a psychologist on here, and I disagree with Dr. Todd Grundon. We do get locked in the head. We do. Maybe I misunderstood him, but it sounds like you can't get locked down. You can't. Anyways, take care.